Hey, all right. Hey, let me open up those chat lines. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Crazy Ass Fridays. And well, hey, we got no shortage of crazy ass shit on, well, Crazy Ass Fridays. Oh, yeah, man, I am telling you. He's, there's no shortage of buttheads and assholes out here. Hey, all right. I hope y'all are doing well. Waiting on Revolution Radio to get on in here. And, they're playing their promotions between the shows, so promotions for other shows. So great listening over there at revolution.radio. Hey, don't forget those Trump assassination files. And sometime today, I guess I'm going to be working on that, or I'll get Brandon to do it. Maybe I got to go out here and work on all this other crap. I'm not enjoying it, but it's got to get done. I got to build cat cages. I'm going to use pallets. Line the inside with wire and put a door on the front. Stand them up. Put a cover over it, almost like a glorified chicken coop. But until I get these cats fixed, wow, maybe that'll kind of cool them down a little, and they won't be so wildish. But anyway, God bless you, man. I hope y'all are doing well. Anyway, we got bumpers playing over on Rev Radio. We've got the world turning upside down and churning all around. Oh, yeah. Bombshell sexual harassment suit against J.P. Morgan's Lorna Hageni. Hageni. Yeah, anyway, I can't pronounce her last name, but good old Lorna said... she turned one of her junior agents or junior brokers into her personal sex slave. That's right. Man, she must have been hard working under that woman. I'm sorry. That's fucked up. Anyway, a British tabloid daily broke the news story first. The former J.P. Morgan staffer claimed that the executive director of J.P. Morgan's leveraged finance team turned him into a sex slave by drugging him with Viagra and Rofinol, according to a bombshell lawsuit. Oh, man. Anyway, so, she threatened his bonus if he didn't get a boner. My God. Poor man. I mean, now she left the J.P. Morgan. Now she's a principal at Bregel and Sagemont. Anyway, under the pseudonym of Jane Doe. Oh, anyway, okay. Anyway, the guy's name, I guess, is Sharia Rana. Anyway, so I guess Lorna took advantage of her position, and unlike Lindsey Graham, who has been caught. No, I'm laughing because I shared a meme yesterday that said Lindsey Graham wearing a T-shirt that said 6947. I mean, way to go, Lindsey Graham. At least you're out in the open nowadays. I mean, that's crazy. Oh, God, I never did undo my mic here, did I, on Rev Radio? Sorry about that. See, what happens when I get started early. I start talking about these crazy bombshell sex suits. Anyway, hey, man, I'm sorry, Rev Radio. I got carried away. Hey, let's get back into this. All right, contempt of court. That's right. Hakeem Jeffries, Dollar Store Obama. He says the U.S. Supreme Court is illegitimate. That's right. It's idiocracy beyond belief that someone would take a statue that is used to end intentional discrimination and turn it into a weapon of actual discrimination. Okay? Jonathan Turley says it best, probably. The Supreme Court's decision in Louisiana versus Calais took 36 pages to explain Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act is about combating intentional discrimination, not allowing racial gerrymandering. However, Hakeem Jeffries wrapped it up in one word: illegitimate. Yeah, Democrats are about to get a lesson in understanding that people see and they know when this two-sided, two-faced debate is going on, with Democrats literally creating racism, creating racist districts of particular people of color. I'll just say it, because that's what it has been used for. And, wouldn't surprise me here in Virginia. Remember, they were trying to redistrict, and they knew that if it went to court that they would lose. They counted on, the Democrats being able to lie their way through a lot of this stuff, and that Republicans are turning into independents and libertarians, and they want their freedom. They don't give a fuck. They don't think they have to vote for their freedom. They don't think they have to be that politically active for their freedom. There's a lot of us that say, we really, 40%, listen, the 40% that say, fuck these bastards, I'm not going to register to vote. You know what? Those are the deciding voters in any election. Because if you can motivate those fucking bastards to stand up against the idiot retards in the system. See, this is what I mean. If 30% of it breaks down pretty much 33% of the Democrats, 33% of Republicans, and that independents are growing, but they're not that big of a margin. So understand, 40% of the people that could vote don't vote. I mean, we see it all the time. And those are the people that I understand. We want to be left alone. We don't want to have to go in and fight these political retards for every inch of freedom that we still have. It's unfortunate, but that's what we have to do. Anyway, Democrats are crying, and Tennessee has and Louisiana have both stopped their primaries and stuff, and they're doing a quickie redistricting. Down in Florida, a redistricting effort along those lines has been successful by Ron DeSantis down there in Florida. Now in Florida has a nonpartisan amendment, I believe, in their constitution. That may stop Ron DeSantis, but it was still, with this recent decision at the Supreme Court. What this does is this creates this neutralized efforts to gerrymander. Democrats are going to have a hard time getting a lot of votes out of their current blue states by gerrymandering, because the fact is they gerrymandered themselves to hell and back. Okay, I think you can look at almost every blue Democrat state and understand the 30 to 48 to 50%, almost 50% of conservatives have no voice in the federal level of their government. Now, should this nonpartisan, drawing along, I guess you would call it, uh, geographical boundaries for districts where you can, and not have this zigzag around different neighborhoods. Like in Virginia, in Virginia, Democrats want to change it to 10-1 with gerrymandering. And there is a giant claw up in north central Virginia. It looks like a lobster. Literally, it has a tail, has a body, it has two claws that come out like that. This Calais decision was essentially a district created just for black representation. That's as illegal as one for just white representation. I believe it should be as illegal as for conservative or Republican representation. Okay, it is time that we quit allowing these parasitical politicians to essentially divide us up to who votes for who, so they can manipulate district lines to guarantee an advantage for their candidates. Okay, and an advantage at different levels of government. What I've seen and what I realize now, as much as the upper echelons of our political system, in the federal level and the state level here in Virginia, that this has this trickled down grooming and gentrification of local political leaders. It is continuing and it's ongoing. And I don't think any of these people understand that somewhere along the line, somebody's going to have to say no to these people, besides outside of saying, no, we don't want this massive data center. We have to say no to all of these different zoning laws and zoning changes. We have to roll back the zoning laws that we have now today, because through zoning and through other efforts at local government and state level, we have seen the literally taking of the rights of people to do what they need and want with their own property. Listen, to raise 4 chickens or 6 chickens on an acre of land is not sustainable for any family. And that is the whole thing, right? If you use zoning, you can make things, well, let's just say, not sustainable for families, where they can have gardens. They can't have more than a few chickens, okay? They can't have some hogs or some beef or something, okay? Not beef, but listen, if you want to have a cow, I know a guy that he had bought it. He went and he found a guy and he bought a calf. And he put that calf in with this guy's herd, and he paid him so much rent a month to raise that guy's calf, okay, with his herd. And after he raised him, he slaughtered him, and he had meat. He knew where it came from. Okay, now he didn't save a whole lot of extra money because of where we lived out in the country, but it was just that idea that this guy then had his own beef and he could buy it young and then pay rent for it basically until he slaughtered the cow. But anyway, regardless, this taking of personal property, it's just not right in America. We should not have to be fighting local government and state governments that literally want to tell us how to use the little bit of ground that people have scratched out on this planet that they have. I just don't think it's appropriate. Especially when a person can refuse service to like an ambulance, or somebody doing a welfare check or a health check or whatever, on an individual. Even if that person could be in danger. I mean, they have autonomy, they have rights, and as long as your kind of blood pressure stable and you're kind of okay, they can't take you, they can't hold you, and as you just tell them to get the hell away, it's okay. But not with zoning laws, not with other state and local laws, and now, of course, with this creeping federal bureaucratic system that we have. America is assailed by this administrative state, which is, well, if you think about it and you look at it, it's the heart of the deep state. This intelligence services, the judicial system, and the administrative state that ties it all together, where they can take official action without, official action. And they can crank down on you anytime they choose. Yeah. Anyway, so it is sheer crazy. Chief Justice John Roberts stated it blatantly in 2006. It's a sordid business, this divvying us up by race. Like others, Roberts abhors racial discrimination, Turley says, and declared in another case that way to stop discriminating on race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race. You can tell that to Virginia, where if you apply for a small contract with the state, and if you're white, guess what? You don't get the job because they're reserved for quote unquote minorities. Is that how do you say you're a racist without saying you're a racist? I'm just asking. Just as I talked about the other day. I mean, Marion Barry. Oh no, never mind, Marion Barry. No. Johnson in Chicago says he's proud of literally discriminating against white people and running them out of the city government. Yeah, it's how to say you're a racist without saying you're a racist. And, the black community for too long has been sitting there and saying, it's not me, it's always somebody else. And, well, I'm sorry, but this time it definitely is y'all. And realize that, Democrats were the Confederacy. See, this is what boggles my mind. This psychological Stockholm syndrome, or is it Stockholm syndrome? Munchausen by proxy. No, that's where, like, if you're sick, right? Okay, Stockholm syndrome, where you identify kind of with your captors or whatever. Oh man, I mean, it's like Jesus. Jefferson Davis was a Democrat. The South was run by Democrats. Jim Crow for 100 years was run by Democrats. And now we have these motherfucking Democrats up there, literally calling everybody else a racist. Let's hear it for the rise of the party of the Confederacy Democrats again. By golly, I think their brain is more than fucking broke. How's that sound? Uh, um, anyway, it is crazy. It is idiocracy. Of course, this is just fueling the contempt and the fire by Democrats who's saying it's time to go full nuke. You know, we got to go from 9 to 13 justices. We got to appoint 4 so we can be, so we can get them 7 to 6. Yeah. Yeah, Democrats believe in democracy so much. They believe in it so much that they have to cheat. Okay, they have to leave every dead person on the voter roll. There is one thing, I would ask everybody make sure that after I die that I don't start voting Democrat. Please, please, check, man, check. God help me. Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, man. Anyway, the underlying interpretations that are motivating the campaign are essentially a delegitimation. It is power. Former Attorney General Eric Holder explained it most clearly recently in pushing the packing plan after Democrats retake power. We're talking about the acquisition and the use of power as if it were a Democrat trifecta in 2028. Whoa. Well, anyway. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out there, guys. But, yeah, especially when Democrats get, let's just say, Democrats get, how should we say it? They get busted out again and again and again. It's a sad state of affairs, man. Well, anyway, I was just, I talked about it the other day and poof, here it is. Lincoln County, Maine. That's right, Lincoln County, Maine. Literally, another raid on growing weed in Maine. Yeah. Oh, good old Eric Holder. Yeah, imagine that. Anyway, so check these idiots out. So yeah, what do you know? Maine.
Farms inside with hundreds, sometimes thousands of marijuana
farms
but
run
it's
by
bigger
Chinese.
than just weed.
Human trafficking, money laundering, mortgage fraud.
In July, the feds indicted 7 Chinese nationals charged for alleged roles in multi-million-dollar money laundering, alien smuggling, and drug trafficking.
They're all Chinese, and they seem very well organized. I mean, if they were growing tomatoes, they'd corner the market.
Al Tempest is the building and code inspector for 5 towns in rural Maine. He inspects these homes.
Every town
has at least 2 or 3. Listen.
Has at least 2 or 3.
Every town has at least 2.
Yes. The more rural you get, the more you'll have. They're everywhere.
Tempesta shows us what he says are the telltale signs of an elite.
So they do all kinds of shit. They jump the breaker boxes. They put extra heavy duty, probably 2 or 3 phase electric in it, so they could run all the lights. Now they're using LED lights, so it's a lot better. But they're also using loads of types of internal pesticide. So yeah. It's dirty, crazy stuff. Well, here, I missed this the other day. I missed this. So this is Scott Jennings. Oh, this is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack back to this Louisiana voting map thing, okay? And it is, Scott Jennings is sitting there with all these liberals, and They just didn't know how to react to what he had to say. Really. They couldn't understand. Well, let's try this.
Members of the House who are black. It's a record, actually. A majority are actually elected from plurality white districts. We're so racist in America. You've got white people electing African Americans to Congress in record numbers.
Are those people in the South? They are not in the South.
Well, Tim Scott is. As far as I know, Tim Scott is.
That's one. That's one example. That's one example.
And so
that's not 58.
And so the issue is racism. It is inherently racist to draw lines and divide people up by race. I mean, the definition of it would be we're going to divide ourselves up by race and say only a black congressman can represent black people, only a Hispanic congressman can represent Hispanic people. That is patently illegal
but the
under
issue
U.S.
is
law.
they were trying to
and
fix
it also
the
makes
problem.
and it also makes no sense when you consider that we're all Americans and we can vote for whoever we want. And often,
absolutely
according to
agree
the
with you.
statistics, we do.
But the issue is here, the map that they were fixing put all of the black people in Florida in one district. Right? That's not right either. You can't do that and say you have fair representation now. Yes, white people should vote for black people. Black people are going to vote for white people.
And they do.
should. But you also shouldn't put all of one race in a whole state in one district and say we're going to operate. We're going to allow you to operate here, and we're going to operate outside of you everywhere else.
Interesting debating point. So your issue is with percentages and representation. So you're saying that you can't put all the people who effectively have the same political persuasion in one district.
They may not.
All black people don't
they
think
may
the same.
not.
Well, but by voting historically, recently, they voted 80-90% Democrat. I think we can all acknowledge that.
So they can have a voice.
So they
Well, it's interesting.
No, it's gerrymandering. It's rigging the maps for political parties and political power moves. Okay. Meanwhile, more evidence coming out that officials under Biden effectively tried to evade the FOIA Act about freedom of information, and they tried to hide it. In November of 2022, Allison Laley, a medical officer for the CDC, asked about receiving a safety analysis of COVID-19 vax from the FDA. Yeah, Pedro Moro, CDC and epidemiologist, responded, I think that because the FOIAs may have asked the FDA to stop sending weekly data mining inputs. Hey, look, quit sending us this data, because if you send it to us, then we got to say we got it. That's pretty much what they were saying, okay? So please, don't send us this shit, okay? It's interesting that LaSalle said she added that during the calls for a CDC-managed program, we used to just verbally mention the certain terms had not triggered safety signals or signs vaccines were causing problems. But we could also leave it out that if this creates more hassle, she added in her emails. Literally, look. What if it's a problem? I'll take it out. If it's not, I'll just leave it in. See, and this is the problem. We can't get the truth. None of these government sons of bitches want to tell the straight truth because, hey, after government, there's the private sector. And if you stay in government, unless you get on some of these big ass tail ends of medical discoveries and improvements, by the FDA and stuff, funded stuff, like Dr. Fauci and the rest of them, get royalties from these drugs and these systems that they use. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's maybe why Dr. Fauci was double dipping on the Remdesivir. Maybe he was getting, an extra, extra money because of his, because he ran the clinical trials. Anyway, grand jury charged Dr. David Morins, a former official with the National Institutes of Health, with conspiring to destroy records and conceal others. The truth is, none of these states and none of these people have the fucking balls or temerity to pull Dr. Fauci in and says, you're charged with murder. And let them plead down to manslaughter. Let them strip Dr. Fauci of all of his retirement. Let them strip Dr. Fauci of every fucking thing and allow people to his qualified immunity. And I believe people should be able to sue Dr. Fauci personally. And the Pfizer should have their immunity stripped and ripped. It's just the fact that they lied and people died. And then the government and Fauci and Biden and the rest of these people, they ran a fear campaign to force people and employers to literally to take these shots and shove them into their the arms of their of their employees. Absolutely shameful time in American history of the CIA-led Biden presidency. And let's not forget, Donald Trump, who started Operation Warp Speed and literally was lied into numbers of different things. And do you know what he did? He deferred to the expertise, the science, and the scientists, as they said. Turned out the scientists all fucking lied when it came to COVID and all the preventions and of course the mRNA vaccine. You should know and understand, I don't believe there has been these successful mRNA vaccine experiments prior to the COVID thing. It's my understanding that all the animals died. I guess they were expecting most of the humans to die. That would be a fucking real problem, because all the people that run up there and took all those clot shots, took all those shots, and they're into the medical system, and they believe the Rockefeller lies, and they believe all these other systems. The truth is, the people that stand outside of those systems, they are healthier. As I talked about the other day, look at the Amish. The children are healthier. It's not an anomaly. It's because of the vaccines. Well, anyway, enough of the conspiracy stuff. Trump says gas prices will drop like a rock. Once a conflict ends, as the senators break with the GOP leadership on the War Powers Act, of whether Trump can continue his war in Iran or not, or whatever. And, there is word already leaking out that Israel is preparing for a massive attack again on Iran. Now, understand, Israel, as I talked about the other day, has been going into Lebanon and trying to make Lebanon Israel again. It never was Israel, was it? Anyway. So, of course, Hezbollah is going to fight back. So if the Mexican and the cartels stream across the border, oh, yeah. It's going to be open season. God bless them, I mean, all the deer hunters will say, oh, it's hunting season. Yeah, you'd be surprised how militias can rise up in a heartbeat to protect their communities. That's what I would say. But Donald Trump is wrong when it comes to this to this Iran conflict. There are varying reports, coming from the Mossad and others that say Israel's ready to collapse at any time. You just got to keep the pressure. You just got to keep everything going. So the United States said, okay, they're gonna rotate, which I thought was happening anyway. They were rotating one air group or one aircraft carrier group out of the rotation and take them offline. And so, I think the USS Gerald R. Ford is leaving the Gulf and coming out, and the other two are going to stay there. What is that? The George Washington and another one. Anyway, so this war is not going to go anywhere. Okay. Trump believes that there will be a currency crisis. So right now, they're trying to crash the currency in Iran. It's at an all-time low already, and they are trying to get people to rise up. However, what is happening is the people, through their tribal and religious roots and their psychological thinking, it is drawing more people together and to hold the line against these imperialists from around the world that literally want to take their oil, take their land, and has been killing their leadership. Not everybody is going to agree, but the truth is there are more people that are holding the center in Iran than are, the fringe radicals that have been weaponized, by the intelligence services in those regions. That is happening, pretty much every fucking day. All right. Israel Defense Minister Katz says soon we'll need to act again if Iran to ensure the regime cannot threaten Israel for years to come. Not giving up their nuclear program, which the current Iranian leadership said ain't no fucking way. You're doing all this basically so we don't have one. We can't just give it up. What are you, fucking stupid? It could be the only defense we have against you guys, if we have it. And then we can be mad together. Mutual assured destruction is what I'm calling it. Right? But, remember, you're talking about two ideologies, Judaism and Islam, which both believe they are superior to the other. Remember, the Goy, Islamic people are still Goy. And from the synagogue of Satan, they're still infidels. Even though it is, it's not ironic that they have crossbred, inbred into their own bastard styles of religious wars. It is a whole madness. While this all goes on, there is getting ready to be an Islamic caliphate in Africa. The United States and others are not, and what I can't believe is that the United States hasn't gone in and helped the Christian groups that are getting slaughtered in Africa. It's no excuse. And what's going to happen is there's going to be this Islamic caliphate that is going to rise, and it's going to cover 100,000 square miles, and what is going to happen to the people within those regions is going to be nothing short of fucking horror. Okay. Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck. The Europeans don't give a fuck. Yeah, I mean, they're already, Europe has already been lost, okay? The European Union is losing control. The British are losing control, but now they have had to push back, okay? A stabbing by a Somali that had already stabbed a police dog is causing a wave of shit. And the people are saying we don't have to live like this, okay? The terror warning raised to severe after this Somali stabbed 2 Jews. Listen. I don't believe you should stab Jews to death, but it's sad that Islam, and other people have such animus against these people. Now, if they treat you like a pig and a hog, then they should be exported. No different than the Muslims that need to be deported. Okay. So yeah. So what else happened? Oh yeah, the British police then raided an Islamic group accused of sex trafficking and slavery. The truth is, hey, maybe sometimes, you can't live in peace. 9 members of a Cheshire Islamic group have been arrested in a raid that required 500 British police officers as part of an investigation into the sexual offenses, slavery, and forced marriages. Officers received reports of human trafficking, rape, and other crimes involving members of a group known as the Ahmadi Religion of Peace and Light. The synagogues of Satan Juniors. God, man. See, I'm bad because I have a zero fucking tolerance for them even sucking oxygen. Okay. I'm bad. Like I said, I'm so fucking, I don't give a fuck, radicalized or whatever. I'm not going to go out here and kill people. But, I'm sick and tired of fucking shitbags literally coming into a first world and turning it into a living hell, okay? I was laughing the other day as there was some Russian tourists, and they were in a park in Germany, okay, in Berlin, all right? So these Russians had gone on vacation or whatever, and they were in Germany, and they were walking through one of the city parks in Germany, right? And it looked like fucking, it did. And the woman says, this looks like Istanbul. It was a big park. It had supposedly greenery, but it was all tents set up. People cooking, animals, people sitting around talking, people living in the tents in the thing, and not one real. I couldn't see really one German there. And this is, I guess, what shocked this woman was, the every one of these people that they saw in the whole park was essentially an immigrant. Was essentially a Muslim that had come into Berlin, and they were just kind of amazed about it. They really were. So yeah. Anyway, British authorities in the UK got quick to disconnect the sect from the wider Islamic migrant community. Bullshit. Isn't that just fucking bullshit? I mean, look. The truth is, who was it? Somebody said that there is no such thing as a radical Muslim or an extremist Muslim. There is just Islam. Okay? And that's what people don't understand. All right? They all believe that non-believers, using the doctrine of abrogation and a series of passages from the Quran specifically allowing for the humiliation, the enslavement of foreigners and non-believers as a means to force them into religious submission. The Islamic slave trade operated throughout Africa. In fact, most blacks in America have been so fucking brainwashed they have no clue that Islam sold more slaves than, well, let's just say they sold the slaves to the slavers that took them to America. So why don't you go back to Walmart, Kmart, and back to China and get the real deal, okay? Go back to the source of the slavery. And today, today under Donald fucking Trump, okay, there are slave markets still in Libya. Now they should be dedicated. If Donald Trump had a fucking brain, had a fucking whatever in his head anymore, he would be saying, look, the Hillary Clinton slave markets in Libya have to be closed. If they're not closed, we're going to have to fucking do something about it. If it's not stopped, we're going to have to do something about it again. But I don't see that. All I see is Donald Trump cooking for, a bunch of genociders that, that use genocide as an excuse to defend against genocide. That other made-up word, these two made-up words that people like to throw around, Islamophobia. Or what about anti-Semitism? Oh my God! Oh my God! He said the A word! He said the A word! Oh man, I am telling you. It is just fucking hilarious. But when will countries understand that there are religious groups that are just not compatible with their land, with their constitution, with their culture, with their laws? Okay? There are just people that don't get fucking democracy. They don't get freedom, and they will never have it because they don't want it. They don't have a clue what it really is. It's like the woman that argues, it's okay for me to be from top to bottom, rag, bagged, and tagged, except with a little slit. Yeah. I mean, you would think that the KKK would have at least picked that part up for their hoods, Remember, KKK where like have round holes. Islam has a whole viewing port. I think the viewing port is better. But either way, both of them are what? Signs of stupidity. Hey, yeah, one wears a colored Klan suit, the other one just goes white. It's a summer day. Is it a spring sale? Is it a spring linen sale? Are they still on? Calling all Klan members from the Southern Poverty Law Center, please come on down. We have your white laundry available. Where do you want the holes? Oh, God bless them, man. I am telling you. People are just fucked up. Where are we else at? What do we got here? Oh man. U.S. debt tops 100% of the gross domestic product. Yeah. Lie. That's a fucking lie. I mean, really. These motherfuckers don't even know what the real fucking economy is in the United States of America. They count so much fucking shit that is made up. It ain't even blessed funny, okay? Hey, don't forget, according to the government, if you live in your own home and it is paid off, you pay rent to yourself. That's right. That is part of the gross domestic product of the United States of America. Yeah. Isn't that nuts? You know, look. The true GDP is such an aborted number of shit today, from consumer to business to government. Okay, that if you took government out of, and our government shouldn't be this big monolith that it is, this monopolized monopoly of everything that it has said, I am in charge of. Okay, that's our government, sons of bitches. Yeah. Anyway, turns out our people have lost their minds. Okay, I guess is the best way to say it. And they said our national debt, publicly held debt, was $31.265 trillion, while the GDP is proceeding this year over $31.216 trillion. According to the data released on Thursday by the BLS, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, better known as the Bureau of Lies and Shit. Okay, I mean, don't worry, man. Don't worry. These will be revised. Our debt will be revised up, and the GDP will be revised down. Well, once the actual numbers get come in, after 6 months from now. That's what they did with all these giant supercomputers. Yeah, no, they have total information awareness. They are running an illegal government program right now. They are running this total information awareness system that is, and then using predictive models to drive ideas, drive public opinion, and to defend their positions, and to carry forward. It is crazy. Hey, what else we got going on here? Oh yeah, Tiger Woods, man. This was news to me. I didn't know Tiger was swinging this way. I didn't know where he was putting his club. Tiger Woods says, he's in rehab. He says, I'm going to sit down and concentrate on myself right now, my children. While I put major decisions, and including my relationship with Vanessa Trump on hold. Oh, well, thanks for that. Okay. Vanessa Trump is going to have to take a back seat to his recovery. There you go. She's out in the playing field again, guys. I guess there's a lot of golf metaphors you could say about Tiger Woods. Putting some, drive in Vanessa Trump. I don't know where his balls ended up, but hopefully in a cup. Were they her cup? I mean, I have to ask. Meanwhile, some retarded guy, this idiot, this guy's a fucking idiot. Okay, I'm sorry. He's an influencer, clavicular. Yeah, accused of inflicting physical, emotional, and psychological damage in a lawsuit by 18-year-old influencer Alora Ziva. The 20-year-old streamer born in Braden Peters is being sued for battery, emotional distress, and fraud. when he, I guess he injected her with some shit online, live, whatever. She was looks maxing, they call it, where everybody pumps all this stupid shit into their body and says, I look better. It's, what it reminds me of? It reminds me of these fucking ignorant women, and you know who they are, because they've got their lips pumped up, and the motherfuckers look like a fucking clown lip. I mean, it looked like you could stick them on the wall, and the poor woman would stick there. I mean, really, it's madness. Okay. So people are, injecting themselves with all kinds of shit, okay? And you can find people that will do it for you because, hey, they get a little nut themselves, like, yeah, man, let me inject this silicone shit. I got it at the auto parts store in their ass. You know what I don't see? I don't see a lot of men out there penis pumping. I don't see a lot of them injecting, Never mind. That conversation just went sideways into a painful direction. Well, here it is, the battle between the Loomer and the Owens. That's right, Candace Owens and Laura Loomer slinging shit and mud back between each other, if that's possible. Can we get them? Can we get the pair of them in a, what do you call those, Jello wrestling matches to see who wins? I'm just asking. Maybe we'd have to use tapioca because you couldn't use chocolate with Candace Owens wrestling Laura Loomer in a kiddie pool of tapioca. Yeah, tapioca. Well, I don't know. Will we see? Anyway, yeah, man, slinging mud. Yeah, Candace Owens warns that Laura Loomer may have blackmail material on President Trump, which forces him to post her content on Truth Social. Candace claims the alleged leverage could stem from a past relationship between Loomer and Trump on Air Force One years ago. Imagine that. Yeah, meanwhile, Laura Loomer shoots back and says, ha ha, George Farmer, the immigrant husband of Candace Owens, totaled his truck while driving drunk on 8/10/2023. Despite Candace Owens denying that her husband had ever been arrested, claiming that his accident was simply a fender bender, that the police were, called blah, blah, blah. Is that all we got? I mean, is that all we got? Really? Oh, man. Hey, it's break on Rev Radio. I got to remember that. I just saw it. God. Yep, it's going. Outro. So, Rev Radio, I shut you off. I hope I can remember to bring you back. What else we got that's just, well, stupid on stupid? Oh, yeah, here we go. Canada's culture minister says it is the duty of government to regulate online content. Cue the fucking South Park videos. Yeah, meanwhile, Canada says it's great to legalize Islamic marriages between 5-year-olds and 70-year-old men. I just made that last part up. Don't believe that. But it could be true someday. You never know, Canada. Canada almost euthanizes more people than that fucking die naturally today. Isn't that just fucked up, man? I mean, a government that says, look, we got to control what you see on the internet. But if you like, the first option is euthanization when you go in to get a toenail clipping. Yeah. That's probably because everybody that recommends you gets a bonus. Number of people euthanized, and they get a bonus of dollars saved per dead person. Yeah, I mean, the government gives you 50% of what they might have spent on their medical care over a number of years. Hey, that might make it pretty lucrative for a couple different peoples. Yeah. Justice Minister Sean Fraser said last November the new legislation regulating online content would be different from the government's previous proposals, meaning former Heritage Minister Stephen Guilbeault said a few months earlier upcoming online harms legislation would be similar to the versions tabled in 2024 and 2021. It's the same old shit. Yeah, they bring in back the stuff that you said no to before, motherfucker. We said no. Canada said no. Canada said no in 2021 and 2024, and they're bringing the fucking same shit back. The United States of America and the Congress said fuck no to the Total Information Awareness System. Do you know what that is? You should understand TIA, because this is what we have essentially with the intelligence services embedded in every major news and a social media platform. It's not a fucking accident. These motherfuckers know what you're coming and going and everything else. I know they do. I'm not silly. I just see it day in and day out. And, you know, if you have to understand this pre-programming shit, have you ever noticed? Listen, and watch this shit. Watch. They will pre-program your response day or weeks before something happens. They'll have you singing their tune even before you walk down that road. Even before the sun comes up, they have you, humming. It's madness. It really is. Ah, God bless them. We got about 10 seconds on the liability thing, and then the intro back to the second hour on Rev Radio. Man, I am telling you, these people have lost their fucking gourds, ain't they? Now, what else we got going on here? Oh, yeah, we could talk about the COVID vaccine, but that's so far, that's like the Jeffrey Epstein files, okay? We got the fucking, you got the COVID files, you got the Jeffrey Epstein files, you got the Iran files, the Mossad files. I mean, literally, is there any fucking stop to any of this shit? No, there is not a fucking bit of stop. None. Hey, welcome back. Hey, God bless you, Rev Radio. Come on down. Let's go. Are you ready to rock? You ready to roll? Let's hit the ground running. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, man. Trump is threatening to pull some troops out of Germany while land-basing how ineffective the German President Merz is. Should spend more time ending the Russia-Ukraine war. Why? Germany didn't fucking start it. Excuse me, Mr. Trump. Barack Obama, traitor 44. That's right. And his lying sack of shit, Victoria Nuland, and others started that war. You didn't end it when you had the chance in your first administration. I understand you were under attack the entire time you were president, but this time you threw in with the devil. Why? I don't know. So it's going to, it's going to still be America's fault. America's still going to be responsible for the 500,000 dead in Ukraine and the fucking economic destruction that it's going to rain through the region for decades to come. It is still the fault of the United States of America. That's what I will tell you. And you and Donald Trump and your administration has not changed one direction. So yeah, that is bananas. It is a sad, sad state of affairs. So Russia and India, part of the BRICS, along with China, are essentially working to rebalance economic relations and essentially try to isolate and insulate themselves and their economies from the United States of America and its, how should we say it, its sanctions and attacks on both countries. Congress has passed a 45-day extension of the FISA Section 702 FISA court authorization, sending it to Donald Trump's desk. I guess in the sense we really do know what is more important than voter ID, and that is to allow the federal government to spy on anybody they want in a secret court, in a secret fashion. You would think Donald Trump, who once said, we have to end this, we have to end it now, we have to fix this FISA court system, to literally rubber stamping a continuation of how they screwed Donald Trump. It's an absolute failure of Trump in this aspect, okay? Where Trump is working and is abandoning his word about not signing another bill until the SAVE Act is passed. Thune has essentially tabled the SAFE Act. It's not coming along, and Donald Trump is going to try to move on. And, nobody should allow this motherfucker to move on. Donald Trump should be held to what he said, his word, and what he said he was going to do. Clearly, the SAVE Act isn't that important. The ability to spy on Americans is, secretly is more important. Okay? It is 100% fucking wrong, Don, and you know it. All right? You know it, and I got it. Okay? I understand. Okay? So yeah. DePaul University created an Institute for Journalism and Racial Justice with former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Yeah, they're an institute dedicated to journalism and racial justice. As trust in the media plunges, DePaul is moving to double down on advocacy journalism with the Institute for Journalism and Racial Justice. The real question is, in many neighborhoods across Chicago, are white people already minorities? And if that is the case, why are these advocates for minorities literally supporting the majority? That is maybe some of the upside down questions that have to be asked, because this overtone of racism that is embedded within the Democrat system, which is essentially says everything is racist. Well, if everything is racist, that means that you are racist. And, you know, from what we see from the Southern Poverty Law Center, from what we have seen in events around these United States, racial justice is is few and far between. Now, how's that sound? There is little justice, okay, because of all of the how should we say, the politics involved in all of it. It is wholly unfortunate, and it sucks. Yeah, no ice. Yes, nice. No warning. Notice May 1st, general strike. It's May Day. Yeah, the traditional communist socialist revolution day. People are, I'm sure, thousands in the U.S. And to join in no school, no work, no shopping, protest in the economic blackout. Yeah, always remember that it is there are bunches of people that don't understand the iron glove of socialism. They have felt this velvet glove of American socialism, not realizing that, you know, that sooner or later OPM happens, and they are shit out of luck. OPM runs out. There is not a, you know, there is not a magical, what do you want to call it, a magical spigot of other people's money that you can just keep taking and taking and taking and taking. And this is generally what has happened in most socialist nations, why they try to make everything equal, like some mama in a family that says everybody has to get 2 of this, everybody has to get 1 of this, and everybody gets 2 cookies. Okay? Everybody gets, you know, 1 main, you know, 1 piece of meat, 2 side dishes, and 2 cookies, and a drink. Everybody gets that, and the same as everybody, no matter how big you are or how small you are. Anyway, it's yeah, its standardization is crazy, but yeah, I mean, block parties, walkouts, marches, you know. So it's the International Workers' Day. Yeah, the Communist Day of the world. So some places are, you know, are having it, and some places are like, "Fuck you, man! I got to work. I gotta do some work. You know, some of us gotta work. We all can't lay on our ass." Yeah, illegal immigrant says, "Oh, what the fuck you mean? We all can't lay on our ass? We all do." And the ones they recruit to bring up for slave labor said, "Oh man, you ain't kidding." So yeah, it's you know, National Socialism Day is a day where everybody should celebrate the slaughters of communism and socialism. And Mao, yes, isn't that special? Yes, hey, all you artists and all you people that sing song and dance and politicians, remember what happens to you in the end under socialism. While you vote and you push and you do all this change, you know, guess what? You're usually the first under the axe after it starts falling. It's just, you know, hey, it's just mother effing nature, dumbass. What, you don't know that by now? What, you don't know and understand world histories? I mean, really? Yeah. Trump argues war terminated before 60-day congressional approval deadline. So, as Iran submits its latest proposal to Pakistani mediators, the nuclear issue remains a non-starter. So Donald Trump has said, "Look, what the hell are you talking about, man? We stopped operations, 2 days before the deadline, and there is no need to vote. There is no anything, and after 30 days, we're gonna fix our stuff, and after 30 days, we're gonna bomb the shit out of them again. You can start the clock again." I wonder if he actually said something like that to those guys. Anyway, the current absence of fighting between Iran and U.S. forces means 60-day timeline, congressional approval, or U.S. forces must leave does not apply due to the ceasefire. Iran submitted its latest revised package to the proposal to the Pakistani mediators. Nuclear is a not included and is a non-starter. So that's pretty much the bottom line, right? Iran says no, we're not giving up our nuclear efforts to get nuclear weapons and nuclear power. And okay, so that's the bottom line. There is no, there is this red line, right, in this window, this Overton window that that they have drawn, that Trump and Israel has drawn, and a non-nuclear Iran is the one. And Iran says, well, that's a non-starter. Goodbye. Okay. So the war is on. It doesn't agree, and even because there's a cessation of hostilities, direct hostilities doesn't mean the war isn't on. That's what I would say. With the aircraft carrier groups deployed there, that would indicate that yes, the war is on. So anyway, unless they just say they're fighting to terrorism. I mean, really. Well, it starts anew. That's right. Final Info Wars broadcast, and Alex Jones says, "Fuck you. I'm gonna keep fighting." Host Alex Jones signed off the final InfoWars broadcast Thursday night after 27 years with a defiant vow to return, even as a long-running legal battle over his media properties edge towards the courts. The shutdown comes in a dispute over the future of InfoWars in the court system, with the satirical outlet The Onion seeking to take control of the brand that was liquidated in efforts to compensate the families of Sandy Hook school shootings, who won a $1.3 billion defamation judgment against Jones. A Texas Court of Appeals granted Jones the temporary reprieve, delaying an immediate takeover, pushing the fight toward the state Supreme Court. Meanwhile, a court-appointed receiver overseeing Jones' assets has ceased covering operational costs, forcing the closure of the Austin studio. Imagine that. They're turning the power off at midnight, Jones said during the final broadcast. Gathered alongside with drinks to mark the moment, private detectives are coming in to close the doors. And they're going to act like they've got a big-ass victory. Trump's, he said, nope, isn't gonna happen. It is time to stand up and fight. Hey, Alex, you can come over to a revolution.radio, and we can kick off streaming through revolution.tv. Oh yeah, I think I better get that real quick, huh? I'm just saying, So here's Alex.
I never bluff, folks. If you knew what we had, the whistleblowers, the documents, we have royal flushes. They are screwed to the moon. And all glory goes to Jesus Christ and our Heavenly Father that leads, guides, and directs us. We are commit ourselves to God in this holy fight, and we are committed. And if God stands with us, who can stand against us?
Man, okay. Oops. Oh, I guess that wasn't, wait. Yeah. Well, imagine that.
They're so corrupt. They have coordinated scripts run by the CIA in court hearings. And you're just like, oh my God, I thought I knew how bad it was. And I was naive. And when that hits you, it's like a horse kicking you. It is like being kicked in the balls by Godzilla. And then you just say, oh my God, I've studied this for decades. I don't know how bad it is. How do I get the public to wake up? And that's why I don't blame the public that can't wake up, because this is so big. Well, guess what? You got to challenge it. You got to face it. So I want to thank, and I mean this, folks, when I thank you, as I hand this over to Mr. Renz, I want you to understand, like, I mean it from the very bottom of my soul, the center of my heart. I'm a fighter. I hate tyrants. I hate bullies. I've always hated them. And you keep me in the fight. It's the most beautiful thing ever. And I just want to thank you for since 1997 with InfoWars and 1994 since being on air, and 17 years in this building. And we're going to do the Alex Jones Network tomorrow, alexjonesapp.com for free. Find it all.
All right, so Alex Jones is getting shut down by the legal battles. I guess at the very end, they sat down and they played Frank Sinatra's "My Way" as Jones downed his drink and declared, "The next phase starts. The real war begins now. It's the nuclear age." So, yeah. Alex Jones, I guess he's getting ready to go nuclear on the system. I believe that's information as well, probably out there. So, yeah, it is sheer crazies. What else we got here? 1 in 5 Americans are still working from home. Even though more and more employers are pushing for more days in the office, 20% of all workers are still able to, do work remotely. That, of course, the big change came from the COVID societal test, I guess you could call it, where the world suffered a worldwide psychological test to see how they would react and who would and who would not submit to government and their frankly their stupid medical decisions. Okay. That even, this is the thing that gets me. Even children in the past knew and understood all this stupid shit that they were trying to tell people about COVID, that everybody knew was, completely wrong. Why? Because it's a psychological litmus test to see how many people will cooperate and under what circumstances. Not only that, but to see how far they would go. That's why I'm putting up this website. That's why the gridhasyou.com is under construction. It's partially loaded up there. The index page is up, and that's I think that's it right now. But yeah, so it's wow. It's just something that is everybody in the world is going to have to fight forward with. Illegal immigrants and immigrants coming to the United States, that's not going to help you. I know it seems like it's going to help, but it won't. And it can't, because your country is being decimated. And until people stand up in their own countries for what is right, then, evil will spread. And you will bring it with you, is usually what happens. Roblox shares crash as engagement headwinds blindside Wall Street. Online gaming platform Roblox crashed the most in 4 years in pre-market trading, 24% down. Wow, that's a serious crash. Daily active users 132 million, an estimate 143 million. Anyway, despite the user and bookings misses, free cash flow exceeded Bloomberg's consensus at almost $600 million. Wow. I mean, that's 30 million over what was projected. So anyway, yeah, that's that looks more like a damn prospectus that I punched on there instead of a news story. U.S. has pledged $100 million to repair the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Without repairs, Europe faces the possibility of a dangerous leak of highly radioactive material, the State Department said. Well, yeah, no shit. Really? Wow. Amazing. So, anyway, the plant's protective structure was damaged by Russian strikes. The plant, located in Ukraine, is the site of a major disaster in 1986 when reactor number 4 exploded, releasing radioactive material around the world. Literally circled the world 3 times at least. Meanwhile, the final reactor at Chernobyl was shut down in 2000. The site continues to be highly sensitive. For decades, the United States and G7 partners have led to secure the nuclear material at the Chernobyl plant, with the United States providing $365 million in total funding for the new safe confinement arch that secures the main reactor areas. Initially built with a 100-year lifespan, the barrier was damaged last year in a drone strike during the senseless ongoing Russia and Ukraine war. Without repairs, the structure can no longer provide adequate protection, creating the specter of leak of highly radioactive material. Yeah, that's for sure. Remember, this, ionizing radiation contamination is, well, pretty much when it comes to humans, forever. I'm just saying. The AFD vows to drain the NGO swamp. That's right, after the Berlin cafe that bans white people received taxpayer cash. The AFD accused the German government of funding left-wing ideologies, as they have essentially given money to groups that, how should we say it, they ban white people from restaurants. I guess that's not quite the kosher in Germany, huh? I mean, I'm just asking. Meanwhile, the EU Parliament pushes funding cuts to Orban-funded Patriots group as, the efforts to kill any kind of Eastern Europe mega move, make Hungary great again movement. After all, they're trying to collapse the economies and the national states and take the sovereignty so they can literally, have the European Soviet Socialist Union and have it one state. And these former nations are just prefects now under the European Union. That's essentially what they have already become. I think it's like a dinosaur. I think they're dead long ago. I just don't think that, the brain and the nerve ending is so far apart that it hasn't reached there yet. Okay? Kind of like the mainstream media where people realize that how full of shit they are, and the media still thinks that they're high and mighty journalists. I mean, really. 60 Minutes journalist decrees the spread of corporate meddling and editorial fears at CBS. Really? Yeah, you mean the Clinton Broadcasting Service, like it was in 2016? I mean, really. These people are fucking hilarious. I mean, you have to ask, is Donald Trump going to have a serious investigation and into this alleged recording where crazy squeaky Lynn Fromm no, I'm sorry, Lynn Fromm. I shouldn't, I shouldn't equate this that presidential assassin with what's her name from New York, E. Jean Carroll, okay, who was caught on audio saying that the DNC paid her to make the charges up against Trump. This was even before the law was passed. So the conspiracy to pass the law in New York to specifically get Trump, that holds water. That means that massive conspiracy includes state government officials, attorneys, and maybe even the state Supreme Court of New York, in a conspiracy against the President of the United States of America. This is absolute madness if it is true. Now, the problem is we have seen such level of treachery in different parts of our government that this could absolutely 100% be true. And that itself is a big problem. Okay? That's what I'm saying. So, we have so many corrupted layers of government. And that's the thing. People don't want to believe that all of these conspiracies and all of these accusations, excuse me, all these accusations about government being corrupted, murdering JFK, taking out Nixon, literally threatening H. Ross Perot in the 1992 presidential election. All of these things. 9/11 and the Israeli and Mossad connections. I mean, the really question is, why were all the Jews absent in the 9 buildings in the Twin Towers on 9/11? I mean, you have to ask that fucking question. It's not a fucking accident, happenstance when they all get a call that says, don't go to work tomorrow. And the buildings get fucking bombed and everybody in them dies. It's not a fucking accident. If you believe that's an accident, well, you're just a fucking retard. It's just part of a conspiracy that is so large that people see it and they don't want to believe it. Yet there are thousands of people that essentially were told to stay home on 9/11. Now get the fucking shit straight. I mean, we have conspiracies. We have these obvious things. And it's so obvious that people are afraid to ask because it's so obvious. People are afraid to even then answer the question and says, well, it certainly does look that way, doesn't it? Yeah. Just like Joe Biden. I mean, here's another thing. Where in the fuck is our Justice Department? When it is said that Joe Biden just recently said in an interview that Barack Obama sat in as president. when Biden, quote unquote, didn't feel so well? And how long were these periods that Biden, quote unquote, didn't feel so well? And where are these communications? And where are these? And how is this labeled within Joe Biden's presidential library and system? I mean, does Barack Obama have a special room in the upper floors of his turd tower there in Chicago where he has, my Biden presidency files? my President Biden files. Yeah. Where he was essentially president, acting president under Joe Biden, an unelected president, a former president. And that's was his dream. Remember, that's what the CIA, that's why they put Biden in there. They knew they could get away with it. Okay? Yeah. Well, a Hershey's company CEO says the GLP-1 boom has been good for some of their products. Yes, bubble gum. Mm-hmm. Hershey reported first quarter sales and earnings that exceeded Bloomberg estimates. Why? Because the GLP-1 adoptions of these drugs, right? What do people went from traditional snacking to what? To buying mints and bubble gum. That was the market shift, okay? It's the same thing where people don't buy as much beer as if gas is $4 a gallon. I mean, it's obvious, right? But anyway, say they called it a treat, not a meal, adding that the company is spending a lot of time researching the expanding use of GLP-1 drugs and incorporating it into its financial outlook so it could isolate itself against shocks in some of its food categories that, well, let's just say some of this stuff may may be knocked off the plate by the GLP-1s. Appalachia, yeah, right. Appalachia, yeah, that's right. Buried in the Appalachian Mountains, 2.3 metric tons of undiscovered but economically recoverable lithium, white gold, hillbilly tea. Research shows that the Appalachians contain enough lithium to help the nation's growing needs, a major contribution to the mineral security. Why do you think they had that fucking big ass dump of rain in North Carolina that came in and laid waste to many of those valleys where those lithium deposits are? Hello, hey, stupids, stupid peoples, yes. Oh, they had the thing, they wiped out some of the people, they devastated the fucking region, and now they're going to go in and fucking strip mine it. Yeah. That's what happened in North Carolina. There was all the conspiracy talk about it at the time, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's possible. We'll see, let's wait down the road, and here we are. Now they want to strip mine Appalachia for lithium. Primarily in the Carolinas, where they just had that big ass storm. It's just amazing. Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont also contain massive amounts of lithium. So they said it's enough lithium for 130 million electric vehicles. Oh, great. Or 1,000 years worth of laptop battery production. Well, isn't that special? We might not have any advancements in technology for 1,000 years, according to that idea. These fucking people are stupid. Anyway, always remember, coincidences are, never happen. Oh, man. So anyway. Yeah. What else we got going down here? Let's see. Let's see what else we got coming out the pike on the news side. Medicaid. Oh yeah, Medicaid withholds funding to Minnesota. Withheld 91 million in additional funding from Minnesota for 350 million in Medicaid dollars that Minnesota expected has now been frozen. Well, look, if you can't provide an accurate billing, if you can't provide accurate oversight, you shouldn't be in charge of the programs. That's just the truth of the problem. Okay, they're going to have to send in federal auditors into every place and into every company that does this reporting and acts as these intermediaries between government and Medicaid and Medicare, blah, 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 and corporations and companies and peoples that use the services, Just, the checks and balances, they're gone. They don't, what the fuck happened to them? I mean, we have to ask those questions because it's madness. It's sheer madness. Yeah. So what else we got going on here? Well, there's one thing in common between liberals and conservatives. Yeah. And one's beer, one's wine. It's not alcohol. I think, and I don't even think it's blunts. Sativa or indica. No. The only thing that liberals and conservatives can agree on are their hatred of data centers. That's right. Americans are soured on the projects everywhere, and it's one of the few places where residents cross political boundaries to support each other. Okay, just a reminder: a man said in a black puffer vest, who identified himself as Larry. An NFL football field is 57,600 square feet. A 1.8 million square feet hyperscale data center is about 32 football fields. A motorcyclist asked about potential effects on traffic. Some people asked if the proper procedures were followed to preserve the habitat for endangered bats. A woman in a pink shirt played a recording of a noise from a data center in another Michigan town. When a board member gently interrupted a speaker to say her time was up, she said, I haven't even gotten off my first page. Yeah, and that's one thing. When you go to talk to these people, you have to be short, concise, and you have to have something that is going to make them think in their brain. If you literally just drone and repeat what everybody else says, you are going to just add to that drone, add to that noise, add to that, oh my God, I got to listen to that fucking shit again. That people have in their brains. And you and I both know when people start talking, some people, our brain just goes click, click, click. No, not fucking listening. Shuts down completely. In fact, some people talk. One person that talks to me, man, I start spilling shit. Hell, they called me the other day, man, so I spilled my fucking bong. It's like, what the fuck, Mitch? Man, that's not that bad. It's just, it's just when you're trying to do something and people are trying to talk and they're just so distracting. It's as buzz killers in life. You know that. You know who they are. I'm just saying. It's just the truth. What else we got going on here? Let's see. We talked about most of this stuff already. Ah, God bless, man. Um, yeah. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia. If you like golf, okay. Saudi Arabia had their public investment fund was trying to compete with the PGA Tour in America. Okay, so they spent $5 billion trying to get the biggest golfers in the world. Yes, baby, we're going to go out in a minute. Okay, just give me a few minutes. We're almost done. Okay, I know the dog's outside the door. Okay, God bless you. Give me a minute, doggy. Anyway, so the LIV Golf Tour is ended. After the 2026 season, it is done. A lot of these golfers said, fuck you, PGA, you suck, you don't pay enough, you don't do this, while the Saudi Arabians were essentially, it's like, buying, cover for, their, for Wahhabism. It is true madness. Anyway, so it's getting dead. It's ended. Okay, they spent $5 billion in 4 years, and they haven't gained any meaningful U.S. viewership. Okay, too bad. Tough shit. I mean, I just think it's stupid. Okay, stupid. Let's see. Yep, Lee Harris missile business files to go public as Trump's war economy prepares to launch the PAC-3 THAAD Tomahawk missile systems are in short order. They have to order a bunch. So they're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars replacing all these missiles that they shot at Iran and that they shot into Ukraine and they shot everywhere else in the world. Why? Because we have places in the world where we still have to bomb. I mean, what, do you think America is done sending peace bombs around the world? Shit, I don't think we've really got started. The real problem will be when those peaceful nuclear mushrooms start popping up. And then when all fucking hell breaks loose, it's not going to be good. Hezbollah, yes, this is why I laugh, because, listen, the Ukraine war has created this drone technology that 3D printed drone parts and all these other systems from Donbass now to southern Lebanon, where the Israelis are getting their fucking ass handed to them by these live fiber optic wire drones that are flown by a fiber optic cable. Okay, we used to call them tow missiles, basically. Okay, where tube optical launched, glided, whatever, and I've seen the Dragon missiles shoot. I mean, man, that stuff's amazing. And so understand, the battlefield has changed so drastically, even from when the flying monkeys of the Gaza Air Force came in town. Actually, remember, they all were fed the $100 million a month golden shekels to keep them operating. Yeah, thank you, Bibi Netanyahu, for funding Hamas. But anyway, Hezbollah is funded by Iran, and they have started using these fiber optic drones. And they are tearing the Israeli troops a new ass. It is there going to have to be some electromagnetic countermeasures, and maybe a minigun, a minigun to look over parts of a column. that is, sound. And the thing is, somebody can throw sound. Okay. So, acoustic aided, yes, but, there's got to be another Doppler kind of a system that can easily, direct a drone to a target. I guess is a moving drone to a moving target. But those things are, some of that stuff we don't know about. Okay. The CCP, the Communist Party, moves to tighten oversight of gig workers. New rules target 84 million workers, raising concerns about control, labor conditions, and risks of social unrest. Remember, China has riots all the time, big ass riots. Nothing like here in the U.S. And a riot of 10,000 people is not, or I should say, a protest. In the U.S., we call them riots, but they're really protests. But protest riot, okay, that has kind of melted together, hasn't it? So yeah, lots of problems everywhere in the world, in all honesty. What the administration is really trying to do with its latest Comey indictment. Remember, James Comey also has a separate working, I don't want to call investigation into his sharing of classified materials. I can't believe the deprivation of civil rights and all these other things have not been included in these charges. Okay. It is the absolute politically sad truth in America that these crooks at the top levels of government, and that includes Christopher Wray, and maybe Robert Mueller, the last three leaders at the FBI were just plain fucking atrocious. They were their actions were literally unconstitutional and outside the bounds and the descriptions of what their agency is and what it's supposed to do. This is why it is important for Christopher Wray to be sent to fucking prison. Okay? This is why it really is important for, James Comey to be sent to prison. This is why it is really important that all of those Obamagate conspirators, from John O'Brien, James Clapper, all the way to James Baker III, and all these other crooks within the FBI, the CIA, all these people need to go to prison. They need to be exposed as dirty, rotten, lying scumbag bastards. I don't think our government will, because if our government exposes it, it exposes themselves. Okay? Well, never thought I'd say this. Lesbian communists hijacked the New Hampshire public school curriculum. Oh man, yeah, you can't keep on doing this governor by governor. Anyway, via New Hampshire House Bill 1448, the bill aims to prohibit the inclusion of any materials created or provided by the World Economic Forum in the curriculum of the New Hampshire public schools. Well, that looks good. Currently under consideration, that would outlaw outsourcing state curriculum to the World Economic Forum. No shit, Sherlock. I mean, that's pretty crazy, isn't it? Oh my God. Yeah. Teachers union, anyway, as far as the most public was concerned about the extent to where the obscene machinations in Davos at all, that proposal from Iron Snatch to the WEF was a rhetorical flourish? Anyway, so, Iron Snatch wants to take over the U.S. public school system. Yeah, Iron Lesbos of America. Bring back the Iron Maiden. Yeah, we're going to bring back the Iron Maiden. Hey, man, I mean, can we make some stainless steel chastity drawers for these women? I mean, in West Virginia, they got to put them on their diapers, And by 5 years old, man, they ripe for Allah. God bless, man. That's fucked up. That's just fucked up, man. I'm just saying. What the fuck is wrong? And I asked, what the fuck is wrong with these people? What is wrong with Krazy-Ass Fridays? No shortage of crazy here. I mean, there is, baby. What's the matter, doggy? No shortage of crazy. I know you want to go. I know you got to go out. I know. Your buddy's sleeping in the bed. It's okay. Oh my God, bless you, doggy. I got 2 minutes. Can you give me 2 minutes, baby? Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes, doggy. Okay? Really, I will. Oh my gosh. Let's see what else we got. Unusual earthquake swarm under Area 51. We've got dozen missing and dead scientists, and now there are. Stop. Please stop. Just for a minute. Just stop. Get up in your chair. Get up in the chair for a minute, and I'll be right with you. Good boy. Yeah. Area 51, man, sparking fears of secret testing or destruction of alien projects and stuff. Yeah. Scientists vanishing now. Ex-FBI boss reveals a chilling plot unfolding, and he fears who is behind it. It's the aliens. Yeah. Yeah, conspiracy theories connecting base UFOs, aliens, and experimental aircraft testing. 4.4 magnitude earthquake under Area 51. Yeah. Striking just 2.5 miles underground. Speculation about the possibility of underground testing. Yeah, these dumb motherfuckers probably got an alien craft down there. They're just pushing buttons to see, hey man, what's this one do? God, I hope they don't hit the universal self-fucking-destruct. I mean, hey, we might have permanent climate change. I mean, really. We might be the fusion ball of climate change. Who the fuck knows? I mean, God bless. Hey, Frank's Revolution Radio. God bless you guys, man. I apologize for the little mix-up on the break again. We'll see you Monday, I hope, God willing. God bless. Good day. Good luck to all you guys on Revolution Radio. So, man, O'Day, I am telling you, what the fuck is wrong, man? I mean, we've got iron-fisted lesbos. We got Donald Trump, literally his administration, literally not doing jack shit about James Comey, not doing jack shit about all this other stuff. And, oh, yeah, here we go. Since 80% of the fucking American people want voter ID, fucking Congress and the God-blessed fucking president can't get it done. I guess they need to motherfucking go. Every blessed one of the sons of bitches. And then we can have a real Doji audit. Don't forget, that's not done yet. They're getting ready to do another round of Doji audits. And, well, maybe we can find some more crime on prime time that we can hang motherfuckers with. That's what I have to say. Because we know it's out there. We know they keep all this data. They keep it historical so they can say, look how bad we fucked the people on this side. Look how bad we fooled these people. Look how we turned the Q into, ABC fucking you. I mean, really. It's a sad state of affairs. But these guys keep trophies. These parasitical intelligence services and these fucking governments, they keep their records and they keep their documentation, just like the CIA cracking America motherfuckers that destroyed Gary Webb. And they wrote books, and they, not books, but they wrote papers internal of how they did it. And those motherfuckers should be fucking sent to prison for the rest of their blessed fucking lives, unless they want to have a, want to have the privilege of, well, hey man, I committed suicide. I shot myself in the head twice, like Gary Webb. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with people? Huh? Where is he? Have any of these motherfuckers been hung? Have any of them been fixed? Have any of them are still in fucking Gitmo digging shit ditches? About the only thing that you could let people do in Gitmo is maybe to have them on shit burning detail. Yeah, that might work. Well, anyway, I know it's a minute early, a little late, late, but I'm going to jump out of here. And I've just got lots of crazy shit to do. And yes, sir, we are going to take the puppy outside and go for a little walk. Take care, everybody. And remember that you change the world every day. God bless. Good day. And good luck.